And right on, as you can hear in the background, the sirens are going off, heralding the event of the Wednesday, every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. It's the biggest event of your day. I know it is if you're watching this live or on video or listening later. Whatever you were doing, it is time for the High Noon Hemp Show. You can find us, of course, video on demand and live on video on the Temptations Beach Facebook page, the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, and at Temptations on Twitter. If you would like the podcast, if you not want to see us in all of our glory and just hear us, you can do that as well. Check out Podbean, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show to get the audio version of the show. I am Stoner Jesus. You can search me on the interwebs if you feel like it. He is Beach, high above the Temptations in Sharonville on this very important May the 4th. Many of you know what that means. Some of you don't. Either way, it is May the 4th. And Beach, how are things this week in the world of Temptations?
May the 4th be with you. It is true. It is what is referred to as Star Wars Day now, which is a holiday I do celebrate. It's kind of crazy because I wasn't at the farmhouse, so I didn't have my full line of clothing. That I don't have my one Star Wars hemp shirt. No, I have a couple actually. I've got one with Yoda on it. I've got the Star Wars. I posted a video earlier of I was out on the hemp road trip in I think it was 2017. I think, and it was May the 4th when I was on the hemp road trip, and I made it. I also wore a different color of the rainbow every day. And so I made it that my orange Star Wars shirt was there at the right time. I suppose, it was the second day of the, because and I have a picture of that somewhere. I should post it of me every day on the hemp road trip wearing a color from the rainbow. As we went along, and then I made a little collage of that. But I planned it out so that I could wear. I mean, the whole thing may have even started on the fact that May the 4th was going to be on the road trip, and so I had my Star Wars shirt ready for that, and then just said, "Hey, wait a minute." But anyway, I did post a little video of that. Me wishing everyone a happy May the 4th be with you day. When I was out on the hemp road trip, I also found a cool, and I don't know how to say, can you save videos from Facebook?
I'm not sure.
I tried. You can save pictures, but you can't save.
I think you have to go to separate. There's websites that do it. You put in the link to the video, and then you can actually download the video and keep it. But it's like an extra step or two.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it might be worth it. I found another video of the same day we went and ate hemp pasta at the pasta shop. Hemp pasta. Dang it! I can't believe I'm forgetting what that place was called now, and hopefully it still exists.
Good night.
Years later. It had pasta in the name. I know that, and it was right in Lexington. And so, but they made us a special hemp pasta dish made from Victory hemp seeds. And again, if you don't know about Victory hemp, they're like one of the largest probably suppliers. They got so big that they stopped doing like wholesale. Like you can only buy bulk from them now. That's how big they are. And I remember I met him out in NoCo back when they were just getting started too, and we carried their products in the store for a while. So anyway, it's kind of May the 4th was a big day back in 2017. And actually it was pretty, there's a lot of remember this today for some reason. So I tend to celebrate one way or another. When it comes to anything Star Wars, I guess, any reason necessary.
I was going to wear my Darth Vader helmet, and I have the whole thing. You can talk through it and all that, but I wouldn't be able to get the headphones on, and logistically, it just wouldn't work. So,
wow, that would be kind of fun.
Yes,
I have to say, I feel like I had a Darth Vader helmet like back in the day, but it was kind of like a cheaper plastic Halloween thing It wasn't just a mask though; it was the whole. It had the.
Yeah.
It might have been a mask with just this cheap plastic. I can't believe I still don't have that, but never a big fan of the dark side. I'm kind of, on the side of good, the light side. I'm on the light side, I suppose. So, uh, you know, it is what it is. You can have good without bad, and if we could get rid of both, then what a weird world it would be, I suppose. I don't know if that's true or not. There's all kinds of philosophy to think about there. Who first judges what's good and bad? We've got the stuff that we know is bad, but then there's some stuff in between in there. We're just not sure. Is it really bad or not? I don't know. Anyway, so yes, welcome everyone. And I've found out it's interesting, why anyone would really try to take on Cinco de Mayo at this point. I don't know, but I did see a poster or something on my calendar that they're going to call tomorrow Revenge of the 5th.
Yes.
Which does make sense because you have Revenge of the Sith. And so Revenge of the 5th actually does, kind of makes sense too. So anyway, we'll have a whole string of Star Wars days before we know it if we just start trying to figure out how to make them Star Wars days. That's all it really takes. Well, all right. Welcome everyone to the High Noon Hemp Show on this illustrious day in Star Wars. I don't know if it's history, present, whatever. Again, I can't believe I don't have my Star Wars short on today, but I wasn't prepared because I stayed at the house in the city. I call it the house in the city. Trying to get that place straightened up so we can get some kids moved in there. But anyway, let's get on with this High Noon Hemp Show. Welcome. It is high noon. I am high above the Sharonville location at the Hemp Quarters, broadcasting live from the Planet Everywhere studio booth. That's right. Not in front of I guess we're in front of a live audience. There's just no one here. Let's get right into the product spotlight. I decided that this week is going to be all beverages. Why not? Just because we got a fresh batch of the Untitled Art Beverages in. And again, these are 20 milligrams of CBD coming in flavors like strawberry, lemon, lime, blackberry, grapefruit. And that's it. The 4 of them there. Beautiful little cans. At first, when we first got these in, I thought that they didn't finish the labels on the cans because it said Untitled Art. And then I actually found out that that's actually the name of the sparkling water. It's kind of brilliant in a sense. It's like, who messed up there? Oh, no one. That's actually what the stuff is called. The next CBD drink, it comes from Dram. That's right, Dram, folks. 25 milligrams of CBD. But now this is interesting because I just noticed this now. The 2 cans on the left, which is the ginger cinnamon and the ginger grass, actually say plus hemp. So we just got a fresh batch of this stuff in too. And I'm going to have to go and check and see that may actually just be hemp oil. 25 milligrams of seed oil, I want to say, to clarify. Because the other cans actually do say plus CBD. So I'm gonna have to do a little more research on what's really going on here. But the plus hemp, so I'm thinking that's the seed oil, that's ginger, cinnamon, and ginger grass. And then the plus CBD, you have sweetgrass, bubbles, and lemongrass. I don't know what bubbles taste like. I'm surprised they didn't call it bubble grass. But I don't know that there is a bubble grass. I would think a dandelion might even be called a bubble grass just because of the way when the dandelions blow away, it might look like bubbles. I'm almost surprised. I bet somewhere in the world maybe they do call dandelions bubble grass. Anyway, or whatever. Again, fresh batch of the Dram. All the stores should have them. Sparkling water as it comes. And the last but not least for sure is our personal favorite, the Queen City Hemp. I think we're missing the limited flavor right now, but we do have the blood orange, passion fruit, lemon, lavender, and guava. Those are the four main ones, and then they have some limited editions on occasion. So I think the limited edition right now is like a mango, which we need to, I think, restock on. Can in a jam in a can, I believe they call it, which is also a nonprofit organization. So look into that if you want to. For sure. And then this last beverage, these are actually the D8. And I think I showed these semi recently. And again, we just got restocked on these because they were kind of going, like, flew off the shelves. But these have 25 milligrams of D8 in them. And the controversial D8. You got black cherry, lemon lime, and watermelon. And remember, if you haven't had D8 yet and you're not used to cannabis, try it home first just to see how it affects you. Don't like get in the car, get thirsty on your way home, start driving, and then all of a sudden be like, whoa, hey, this D8's kind of something.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it should really just come with a don't drive heavy machinery warning, I suppose. But it's like, we try to promote here, especially now with all these cannabis extracts legally extracted from industrial hemp. I want to make that perfectly clear again and again. That some of these are, may cause you to feel them physically. CBD, we know, does not cause really any physical side effects. You don't really feel that you've used it, other than it works for whatever you're using it for. I like to say, when you don't feel anything, it's actually a good thing because it must have worked. And so, but it doesn't come with the side effects of Delta 9 and Delta 8 and Delta 10 and some of these other extracts that we're getting legally from industrial hemp. Again, I want to clarify that 100% federally legal, 100% legal in the state of Ohio. Becoming the controversy all over the country. Yeah. Without a doubt. Some states say yes, most states are saying what, and some states are going no. Georgia just said no and then got in trouble for saying no, and now is trying to say no again to Delta 8. So, and then again, I think they finally did something. I think it was Georgia. Was it Georgia? I don't remember. That I just said that they passed a law. They're going to tax it, leave it legal, blah blah blah. And so, anyway, and then now, we've seen 4 from the store, as I like to say. The one from my door is quite the throwback. This is, again, I was at the house and I found this, and I need to start using it more. This is my old Monastache. I think that's how it's pronounced. I remember back in the day, some people would say Manastache. But anyway, everything that they make even now was super high quality, made for hiking. This backpack was meant to be taken out and used out into the woods and haul your stuff and fill it up and whatnot. Everything that I have of theirs that I used or didn't use, for the most part, I had, I think, one backpack that I finally wore out of theirs. But again, like everyday use for years and years and years and years and years and years. I still need to find my skinny backpack, which was one of my favorites by them, that I carried quite a bit, with my stuff that I just, tools and whatever else I carry around with me on a daily basis. For those of you that haven't been watching the show too long, or I haven't mentioned in a while, I carry a hemp backpack that it's probably about 20 pounds, 25 pounds on a daily basis of stuff things I don't know if I'll need or not, but I have a full pharmacopoeia of industrial hemp in there, balms and ointments and CBD and everything else for that matter. Tools, usually have my iPad. Anyway, and my extra hemp pens. More about those later in the show. So there you have it, folks, in the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. As we move to what is
What is the best segment in internet history? I'll keep saying it. I'll say it every week until everyone else agrees. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if we do the show for 30 years. I'll still be saying it because nothing's going to come along that's going to beat it ever. It is the Beachwear segment. Right? It's Beach, a very important question. He gives me a very important answer that you all crave and need when I ask, what are you wearing, Beach?
It's true. I ditched I should have planned a little better for Star Wars Day, so to speak. But
That's right.
in a sense, if you are wondering, what are you wearing, Beach? So I wear hemp head to toe every day. Here you will now know. On my lid there is my EcoConscious hat. Now, before I go any further, you may notice that I don't have the EcoConscious hat on my head now. I don't know how I've done this. It's the first time in 15 seasons of this show that somehow the time I came in and took the pictures of me in my outfit and to sitting down to script out the show, I lost my hat. Again, I don't even know logically how this happens. Normally when I take my hat off on my desk, I hang it right up on my microphone that's usually up here until the show. And today it is just nowhere to be found. I'm baffled by it. So it's a 2-hat day for me so far. To go find a Star Wars. I do have some hemp Star Wars related hats somewhere. I'll go put one of those on maybe later. My Nike green collection jacket. That's right. So those natural looking stripes on there is industrial hemp fiber. And it's the same that they were using, and you'll see more out of these later, in the original Air Max shoes. Now, I do have a couple pairs of the original Air Max Nike green shoes. It was part of their experimental green line. I don't even know if this jacket ever actually made it to market. But I still found one out there for me to have, and I love it. I don't wear it very often because it's so classic. I hate to get it dirty or anything. That sounds like elitist of me. Underneath there, you can see our Planet Everywhere printed, what I call the Super Hemp symbol, so to speak. And just, going back on the May the 4th, I forget to tell everyone, if you don't know, I am Jedi Hemp. I have always been Jedi Hemp. We are the Jedi Hemp channel on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I own JediHemp.com. I have, if I had an AKA, and again, I never refer to myself as Jedi Hemp because it seems kind of rude to give yourself a nickname. But, way back in the day, I referred to myself as Jedi Hemp because I am a Jedi. I do believe in the Force. I'm still training. I don't have a lightsaber.
I just checked JediHemp.com, and it does redirect to Temptations.com.
Hey, there you go. See?
So there you go.
How fun is that? I had Jedi Hemp, I think, on one of my cars for a little while. No, actually, that wasn't me. Someone else was trying to. It was one of my buddies. Was actually. But anyway, back to what are you wearing, Beach? Because that's what we're talking about right now. I've got my Kentucky Hemp Outfitter jeans on with my Hempies belt today because, again, I found another hemp pen at the house. I have 2 Hemptations Green Springs technology pens in my pocket. I did find my purple inked one, so I left that one. And then the other one will go onto my backpack where it will always be a backup. I Love Bad briefs. You can find those on Amazon. Hempest socks. You can go to their website, Hempest. And my Wicked boots. Now, this may be one of the last times we see these Wicked boots. I probably, these are, especially in the winter, something I wear semi-often. And they are almost meeting their demise. They have a rip or an opening that's probably like 2 inches long on the side, but the shoe itself is not coming apart for the most part. And so, again, I could probably, I don't know if I could stitch them up because it's right where I feel like it's right where the top of it, kind of, but still holding together. Just that little piece of hemp right there. So who knows? You may see these again and again and again until they truly do fall apart. Just showing you once again, there is quality in hemp merchandise. I was thinking to myself earlier, uh, you know, I guess I could be a great, hey, I'm thinking about buying this, Beach. What do you think? Like, well, I wore their shirts; they're pretty good, or whatever. I feel like I've tested, because everything I own hemp is R&D. So from every bag to every pair of shoes to everything has all been research and development. I mean, A, take a look at how much hemp are they really using. B, how do they last? Are they quality? Is it good stuff? That kind of thing is what I've always lived for, whether it's stuff we sell in the stores or just so I can speak personally on it. And so, that's why I can wear hemp head to toe every day, 365 days a year for the most part. Taking only some days off to wear a little bit of sportswear that just isn't made out of hemp. I'm going to have to start getting some more Bengals and more Kentucky Wildcat basketball hemp stuff somehow, maybe making it myself at this point. Because I don't have a whole lot. I've got a tiny. I don't have anything orange. I have stuff that's orange and black, but not that way that I actually printed like a Bengals thing on or something. I have Kentucky stuff. But anyway, let's just jump right into the news, because now what are you wearing, Beach? Here today on this first Wednesday of the month. And what's funny is I never heard the sirens here.
I did hear them here.
They were on when you were there, but and maybe but usually I hear them, and so I'm quite suspicious. What's going on, Sharonville? You guys,
something's going down.
Testing the Delta 8 products that we sell.
Don't operate the siren.
Hey, man, we forgot to turn off the siren.
Maybe they're busy watching the show and they just forgot.
It's
Although
true.
I should have reminded them, go turn it on now. It's 20 minutes late, but just do it.
I did mention it at the beginning of the show even. So, you would thought it'd be going off for the show, but maybe they didn't want to do that for the show.
Who needs them?
Right. Who needs them? Let's jump right into the news here. We got some good stuff. A lot of food stuff on today's news. It seems like kind of fun. And the first one, which I have a pick of, this is actually a product that Mary found. It's Superfood plant protein. Turned it around, and their protein blend is one of 3 ingredients, as you can see, which is pea, pumpkin, and hemp. And so not only is it in there, but it's one of the main ingredients in the product itself. Nothing on the label about it. And I was like, we're going to start, once again, I'm saying this for a long time, but we're going to start seeing a lot more products that are using hemp because it's better for their food product. It's better for their customers, but not marketing it at all. Just adding it to the ingredient or having it in the ingredient and not saying, hey, this is a hemp product. Hey, but, knowing once again of its nutritional value, we are going to see it being added to more and more ingredients without fanfare, without the using the leaf as a marketing thing or using the whole word hemp as a marketing thing, but purely because, guess what? It is one of the best proteins on the planet, plant-based. And so if you're making that product, you'd be silly not to put it in there for your customers. Any food product, honestly. The hemp oil, the hemp seed nutritional value is, again, as I'll talk about more and more, it's super good for the body. It's just super good for the body. And in fact, Eat This, Not That article, 5 best oatmeal habits to lower cholesterol. And of course, a lot of people eat oatmeal because it lowers cholesterol. But number 5 was add some seeds. Guess what those sad seeds? Those sad seeds. Guess what those seeds were? Hemp seeds, flax seeds, and chai seeds. And here's something that I thought was interesting. To get the nutritional value out of flaxseed, you should grind it. So whole flaxseed is not good for you. Now, apparently, the human body, which I didn't know, digests whole hemp seed or hulled hemp seed, either one, and chai seed well. Again, here's something else that soy is one of those things that the human body does not really digest as well as it should. And so if you are using flaxseed, because you see a lot about flaxseed being good for and healthy, and I do believe, I'm not saying that it's not, make sure that it's ground to get that nutritional value, apparently. And so here is a fun, I'm seeing a lot of zero alcohol, non-alcoholic drinks come out. Now this recess, this one's really kind of fun. It's a zero proof margarita, hemp infused. Okay. And so, once again, what that means when you see hemp infused or CBD infused, what that means is they have added it. They didn't make the drink with it. They made the drink and then they added the hemp, still an ingredient. But you see a lot more of the word infused, especially with foods and drinks, because again, they add that. Like we had a Queen City did a CBD beer at one of the brewers, and basically what they did, they had the beer and then they just added the CBD and they infused it and retapped it, and we drank our CBD beer all night. And so, that's another one of those terms that you're seeing a lot in the hemp industries now, especially once again, food and drink. And that's basically what it means is the product wasn't made with oil or seed oil or CBD or whatever. It was added to it. Infused, as they say. Here's some fun food. It's good. The bakery is called Sweetly Baked. Sweetly Baked, which is a great name. Sweetly Baked CBD Bakery in New Milwaukee. I didn't know there was an old Milwaukee and a new Milwaukee. I mean, I know there was an old Milwaukee beer. Mm-hmm. So now it makes sense. I guess old Milwaukee beer is brewed in old Milwaukee. But in New Milwaukee, you can go to the Sweetly Baked CBD Bakery. They just won a $10,000 prize. So I think that's pretty cool. Again, it's just showing how acceptable it really is and how much it should be acceptable everywhere. And good for them for getting a little bit of, to get some investment right now in CBD is a good thing because there's a ton of it out there. One way or another. Women's World Magazine, having trouble falling asleep? Skip the melatonin supplement and try this superfood instead. Anybody want to guess what superfood it is? Anyone? Yeah, you're right. Hemp, with a combination of amino acid tryptophan and vitamin B6, that serves as a precursor for melatonin. So, Kylene Bogdan, and these are all the initials after her name: MS, RDN, CSSD, LDN, CLT. Which she's probably a nurse, registered dietitian. I think that's what RDN, registered dietitian nurse. Anyway, should know her food. Pretty sure with all these letters. Says that when eating hemp seed, the vitamin B6 content will trigger the conversion of tryptophan in serotonin, which your body can then convert into melatonin. I mean, again, I have talked about using hemp seed oil, hemp food, um, as a sleep aid, the same as CBD, and it's, because of these facts. Um, and it does so much nutritionally, but it also does all those other things. It is actually an anti-inflammatory as well, not to the level of what we're finding, obviously, straight CBD topical or whatnot um, works. But again, there might be a reason why hemp seed oil, and again, this is what is kind of interesting. I would be interested now, and I don't think there's any CBD or THC or anything in the seed oil. It'd be interesting to start testing seed oil for those things. We know there's no THC conversion into seed oil, the food oil. You can put it in drinks as well, but and so uh, and I don't think there's any conversion to any of the cannabinoids, terpenes, or anything into the actual seed oil. I think it has its own nutritional background, which we know about, which is the protein, omega-6, omega-3, all the vitamins, all the other stuff, magnesium, all the stuff that, you should have in your body. But none of the cannabinoids, terpenes, flavonoids, any of that stuff gets into the seed oil. That's why, honestly, the whole soldiers can't eat hemp food or consume seed oil, hemp seed oil, is just ridiculous. There's zero chance of failing a drug test or getting high off of hemp seed oil. I truly, and again, I'm surprised that we haven't seen even more science to prove that, because right now we have one case in the courts that decided that, and then all of a sudden, again, this was 10, 15 years ago at this point. I was eating hemp food and I failed a drug test. And he won in court. He got fired for the job, but then he won in court. And so all of a sudden, because they somehow proved in court, and again, I don't know how they did it, but they proved in court that there was THC in the seed oil. And all the science in the world tells me that is 0% true. I want more science just to prove it. But my understanding is, again, they might be on the outside of the seed. If you were growing in a high THC plant, you may have THC on the outside of the seed. But no one's going to make food out of their hemp seed without cleaning it, which is really just a really intense shaking. And again, the amount of THC that could cross over into that food product is so minute, it's insane. That is why the DEA lost the HIA, Hemp Industry Association versus DEA, original court case that was based all on the DEA wanting to raid Whole Foods for having hemp food because it didn't say 0.00% THC. They lost. Okay, because there can be an acceptable amount of a lot of things in food. You don't want to know. Parts per million. That's all I'm going to say. Parts per million. Go find out from the FDA what's acceptable in parts per million in your foods that you eat. And so, the amount of parts per million in the THC was like, again, still asked, but they couldn't say 0.0000000. You can't do that. You couldn't do that. And so, once again, that's kind of still where I don't know where the international 0.3% or less, which hopefully is going to get raised sooner as opposed to later. But, and again, that 0.3% or less is based on the flower, that dry weight of THC. Again, not the seed. And no point do they test the seed, which I think is funny. Like, no one tests the seeds. And in fact, the DEA just came out and changed their policy on cannabis seeds, because now they're actually saying you can have marijuana that has less than 0.3% THC as in the seed, and then it is actually hemp, which is, yes, the law, but that's their policy, the DEA's policy. And so, I'm not sure, but whatever. Uh, and again, there's if you test the seed, once again, you're not going to find any THC in any seed. Whether if you have the seeds of a 26% THC Delta 9 flower, you take that seed and you test it for THC, there's not going to be any in it. And so, anyway, that's why the seed is so, again, nutritionally valuable, and no one has to worry about failing a drug test, which was something that people worried about a lot back in the day, and still, I think, worry about, honestly. Just because, again, just like, when I was talking about being on vacation, and the old people were like, oh, it's got hemp, I wouldn't do that to you. And it was just hemp chips made out of hemp flour, hemp seed. And, again, wouldn't get you high, wouldn't do anything bad, but give you some nutritional value. But people are still afraid. They're still kind of uneducated about hemp in foods, and it's even less now, or it's more confusing now because of CBD in that whole industry. Because some people put hemp oil on their labels meaning CBD, when hemp oil should mean seed oil, pure and simple. And only a company, again, that's trying to get away with being on Amazon or eBay or whatever does that. But it's highly, highly not right. And so the UK government, this is kind of interesting, the United Kingdom government now has stock in a CBD manufacturer called Grass and Company. And this is after the startup COVID loan converted to shares. So I guess that's how their COVID loans worked over there, is that you could get a COVID loan, and then if you were up and running for a certain amount of time and successful, I suppose, then the government owns part of your company. Interesting. And so, that's, I guess they're not going to be, saying anything bad about CBD in the United Kingdom. Should be everywhere if that's the case. Probably going to see a lot more Grass and Company. But, I love the name. Grass and Company, actually, just because we once won an award from Cincinnati Magazine called the Best Use for Grass, which I think I've got a copy of it somewhere. But yes, Best Use for Grass. So that's kind of on my list of accomplishments over the years with the stores. My Best Use for Grass award. Swimwear designer, I think I got a picture here, Natasha Tonic. The entire line is made of hemp, basically. And again, she started this company years and years ago, and all of their bathing suits are hemp. And one of the reasons is because of the using polyester or any type of synthetic fiber, you have those micro plastic pieces. You're out swimming in the ocean, a little bit of that comes off, and guess what? That starts to build up. That's why we're finding plastic. This is another reason why we're finding plastic in all of the sea life's guts, big or small, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. You don't think about it, but if you're wearing an all synthetic bathing suit, eventually little bits of that are going to come off, tiny little bits of that, and that makes its way into the food chain. And so I think that using pretty much 100% hemp in all of her bathing suit line, and again, her name is Natasha Tonic. And I think that I don't know. Haven't gone to her website yet to see what's available to buy or purchase, but it's entirely hemp based. And again, it's got bikinis and one pieces and all that. And so I thought this one was actually kind of cute. And so anyway, swimwear designer Natasha Tonic. If you're looking for an entirely based 100% hemp bathing suit, there's a great place to look. This is For Women First is the website. The article, say bye-bye to Batwings. 4 tricks to getting rid of them for good. Now, when they say Batwings, they're talking about this flab here. Just so you know, I didn't call them that. They called them that. But what I thought was interesting, and the most interesting thing is, again, 4 things. The first 3 are exercises. Number 4, nosh on hemp seeds. And again, why? High in protein, omegas, that helps build muscle. So as you're doing the exercises, the stretching and the exercises that help get rid of it, you eat the hemp seeds because of the high protein, the omega-6, and as you're getting rid of that fat, you're making muscle. Okay, you're not turning fat into muscle. Don't get me wrong. But you're getting rid of fat, and if you're working out, you're making muscle. And so your body needs that protein, one way or another. And so it is good. It is good. Nosh on hemp seeds. Protein and omega-3 fatty acid build muscle. There you have it. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Now the last picture I'm going to show, talking about the original Air Maxes. Here's one in a bubble. Good for this guy. I wish mine looked like that. Now mine aren't the baby blue. The baby blue I think are more valuable. Mine just has a natural. I'll get some pics of mine, but mine just has actually like a natural colored swoosh. And again, this was at least 20 years ago or so. I think that the original hemp Nike Air Maxes running shoe were released. Now I have to say, disappointingly enough, I picked up one of my pairs of old Nike hemp Nikes, and the soles were basically coming apart from the tops. Now I say I'm disappointed, but I'm not really disappointed because I only hope it happened because they were trying to use maybe a more natural glue at the time, a more environmentally friendly glue. Because when Nike first again started working with hemp, they were kind of looking at it as a green solution for leather, which is not the best. Doesn't end well for the cow, that's for sure. Now I realize that's part of that zero waste cow industry, but anyway, I'm not here to rile on the cattle or cow industry, but I think once again trying to incorporate hemp, and they were again some of the old Nike hemp stuff I have. They actually called it Nike Green when they were messing around with it. I don't know if they ever launched a line called Nike Green or not, which I can't believe they didn't. But it should exist. And again, they're still incorporating hemp into their shoes, but it's not on a green level for the most part. Unfortunately, it's just kind of, hey, we're going to put a little hemp in here because we sell out of every hemp Nike that we put on the market. I should go and see if I can even find a pair of hemp Nikes anywhere. And they released probably 6 shoes in the last 6 months or so. Maybe not that many, 1 or 2 or 3 that had hemp in them, or almost all hemp. I did try to get a pair of those, but again, waited in line at Nike. It still got denied because that's what everybody does for all their releases if it's limited. I mean, you put limited release in front of a Nike, and it doesn't make any difference. They just want to buy it, to have it. And so it's made it a lot harder for me to actually get new hemp Nikes, in all honesty, which is crazy. It shouldn't be that way. They should be in every store, every Foot Action, every whatever out there, not in a bubble. to be saved for 20 years. I mean, I wore the hell out of mine. Again, they're both worn. I'll say that. And if you know me, sometimes I save stuff, but these are the only real hemp Nike running shoes I've ever had. And so back in the day, I did wear them, and to show them off. So anyway, there you have it. That's all the news that's fit to talk about here on the High Noon Hemp Show. We'll get you some events here and on your way. May 20th, 21st, you have the Midwest iHemp Expo in Lansing, Michigan. May 20th, you also have the Kentucky Hemp Association's annual conference and trade show at Sullivan University in Louisville, Kentucky. May 27th through May 30th, you have Hemp Aid at the Rainbow Farms in Vandalia, Michigan. June 17th through the 18th, Hemp in the Holler, Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Always a great event at the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame and Museum. So that's kind of a twofer. I mean, you get the hemp in the Holler event and the Music Hall of Fame and Museum. That might be kind of, again, worth the money to travel to Mount Vernon, Kentucky. And there's not much more there but nature and those things. I'm not dissing on them. That's just Mount Vernon. I mean, Mount Vernon's in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and there's a lot of nature. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And obviously the home of the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame and Museum. So very, very fun, one way or another. And that's pretty much it as far as events coming up semi-soon. Not a whole lot going on in the hemp world. Get out there and make your own hemp events. Support hemp any way you can, as we always like to encourage here on the High Noon Hemp Show. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations.
See y'all next week.